Welcome to class. So I hope you're all having a fabulous week. I haven't got my chat up, sorry. So I'm going to get the chat up on my laptop so that when you comment, I can see. So hopefully we're live in the group. Let me get, what's going on? Where's the chat gone? There it is. Okay, so the chat's up. So if you're live with us now, come and say hello, drop us an emoji, and let me know where you're based. Or if you're watching this on the replay, drop a hashtag replay in the comments. So I'm using Restream to go live. So please give Restream permission to see your name and when you leave a comment, because otherwise it just says Facebook user. So the link is in the main post. So very quickly, I'm Jenny McCabe and I'm the go-to money breakthrough coach for women entrepreneurs who want to let go of money blocks so they can charge their worth by completing my Money Alchemy Academy. So I see tons of women, hundreds of women undervaluing their gifts and their talents, and having done the inner work myself and having undercharged for many years myself, I've learned that if I don't value myself, my time, nobody else is going to. So it's my mission and my passion to help women build successful and profitable businesses, because it's my belief, it's my strong belief, that when women make good money, they do amazing things with it, and that improves the lives of the people around them and also their community. So if you're on live, jump on, come and say hi, and make sure that you give Restream permission to see your name. Otherwise, it just says Facebook user in the comments. So the link is in the post. So today I'm on with my guest, Kim Rahir, who is an online health coach. And we are going to be talking about, lots of things popping up on my screen, lots of things. We're going to be talking about the obstacles and roadblocks that we experience in our weight loss journey, which are, I think what Kim is going to be talking about is how similar they are to running our business. So Kim, without further ado, tell us more about what you do.
Yes, hi, thank you for having me on the show. I'm very thrilled to be here and happy to share. And I think for all the women running a business, I have some, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm getting a weird thing there. That's fine. Because the issues that we encounter, we're all always using the same brain, I think. So my main business is I help women over 40, very busy women. They run a business or they have a stressful job. Most of them have a family to boot. And over the years of looking after everybody else, they have gained some weight and they don't feel good about themselves. And I help them lose that weight, lose the belly fat that starts bothering them, and help them fit into their old genes again, become their old selves again. And I do that without any negatives. It's only positive action steps. That's the one thing that's really different in my coaching. I only tell you what to do. I never ask you not to do something. Yeah. And it works like a charm.
Yeah, excellent. Because I think when you get to a certain age, us women, we have tried every single fad diet there is. You know, I have tried, for example, I've tried the paleo diet, which I think is called, paleo diet, which was that rebranded to another diet?
Oh, I think it's still paleo, but there's a new fad now that's called keto.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Even more radical and even more extreme. I mean, it's there for a reason. It was invented for people who have seizures, and it works very well for them. Oh, right. And people realized that you could lose weight with it, and they started using that.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, I mean, the weight loss industry must be turning over billions of pounds or dollars or euros or whatever currency you want to work in. But a lot of the time, it's not long-lasting weight loss or long-lasting transformation or change, is it?
No, and that's the big problem. And it's really a mindset shift that I try to work with my clients, because they come to me and they say, well, keto has worked really well for me, or anything, Slimming World or intermittent fasting. It has worked really well for me. And I lost like 14 kilos. And then you ask them, yeah, but what happened then? Yeah, then I gained them all back and then something. So this idea that it has worked for me because at a certain point I lost X amount of kilos, but then I put them back on, that means it did not work. And once you get that mindset shift and you start looking for something sustainable that you can do day in, day out, year in, year out, then you're talking about something that will really bring you forward. Anything radical, anyone can lose 5 kilos in 2 weeks if they starve themselves right. But you can't do that forever. No way.
No, because the body starts to go into, I can't remember the exact science now, but it starts to panic a bit, doesn't it? And start storing fat. So it has the opposite effect when you start starving yourself, when you do a very low calorie diet, isn't it?
Yes, and that's exactly what somehow builds the connection also with the business lessons that I got from weight loss coaching, because there's something very powerful at work when we're dealing with our weight, and that's our brain. And it's not our reasonable brain. It's not our thinking part that says, yes, I want to lose 5 kilos, I want to lower my blood sugar, I want to be healthy. It's what I always call the primal brain.
Reptilian brain as well.
My kids call it the lizard brain.
Yeah.
And what we don't realize, and what we always try to ignore at our own risk, is how powerful that brain is. It's that one that takes decisions, because we as humans, we were taking decisions long before we had speech. So this part of the brain is not really verbalized, but it's taking decisions all the time. When we then find reasons why we took that decisions, we are with hindsight somehow trying to rationalize things that we did. And when we underestimate the power of that brain, because what was that brain's job? To keep us alive.
Keep us safe.
So it's extremely strong. There is no way when this brain wants something that we, with our reasonable tiny little voice saying, but I wanted to lose weight. It's not going to listen. It's just going to dig into whatever food is in front of us.
I mean, the thing is with our subconscious, our reptilian brain, or whatever you want to call it, it 95% of our behavior is habits, governed by habits, isn't it? So and the subconscious mind is basically in charge of 95% of your habits, of your behaviors. So it really does control a large amount of our actions, our behaviors, our beliefs. It's all in there in the subconscious mind, and it's our job to obviously change that. So your conscious mind only works 5% of your of your daily habits. So
yes, you don't want to rely on that. And that's also where I discovered the parallels to what happens to us when we're running a business by ourselves, most of us, like solopreneurs, or what you call us. Because when I work with my clients, of course, I design exercises for them, and we make plans for food and eating and everything. But a lot of work, of course, is mindset work, because of what we're just talking about now. Because mostly everybody knows nowadays that you should be eating your vegetables and everything. The question is, why aren't we doing this? So we do a lot of mindset work. And I realized that the advice I was giving my clients was something that I could probably use myself in running my business. Because it's very taxing on the mind. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I think, oh, I don't think I can do this. Or, I'm not up to this. Or this is never going to work. There's a big one. It's the same, you're trying to lose weight. Your scale doesn't move for 3 days, for a week, or for 2 weeks. And you say, this is never going to work. Same, you're running a business. Nobody signs up for your program for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, or whatever. And you say, this is never going to work. So I realized that there are parallels, and I think there are like 3 big chapters that you have to deal with. And it goes for weight loss as well as for running a business.
Yeah.
And I'd love to share those with you here.
Absolutely. Let's have a chat about those. So
the first chapter, and that's a big one, is what I call fear of change.
Yeah. Massive.
It is in weight loss. It's pretty easy. On the surface of it, it's like you don't want to let go of certain foods. Sometimes I have a client coming to me saying, okay, but I want this to be clear from the beginning. I'm not going to stop eating bread. And I know that we have a problem. Not because of the bread. You can eat bread, forever and lose weight and be fine, but because of the attitude. If you're not ready to change, if you have this defensive attitude right from the beginning, it's going to be difficult. As it runs deeper too, because so many ladies have this identity defined, their storyline. I'm the chubby girl. I'm always going to be the fattest one in the room, or I'm not a sports person. And as uncomfortable as they are in that role with that identity, something new could be scary.
Yeah.
Because everything, your whole world, your environment, everything is sort of tuned into that identity.
Yeah.
And that's why fear of change is big. Yes.
Yeah. And it's comfortable. And talking about our subconscious mind is programmed to keep us safe, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's where, when it translates to business, the fear of change, I think is mostly a resistance to taking action.
Yeah.
Because it scares our primal brain. Like you say, it wants to keep us safe.
Yeah.
So if we step out into the unknown, if we do something we've never done, geez, we could die out there. I mean, that's what our primal brain feels. So
because
we find all these reasons.
The fear of being judged. And that goes back to thousands of years when we lived in tribes in the caveman era. When we lived in tribes, the survival of the human race was about living in a community. And, and when you stepped outside the cave, or you got kicked out the tribe, for example, because for whatever reason, then you could be chased down by a saber-toothed tiger or whatever it is. And that's where I think that is where that fear comes from. So it is really primal fear. It's really, it really dates back to thousands of years ago. And that subconscious still hasn't evolved really, because we don't have the same dangers or risks in our daily lives as they did 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years ago, or whatever it was cavemen were around.
Yes. But we still have that protective brain.
We still have that default programming.
And it tells us where we are is safe. Let's not move. Let's not change anything. It could be dangerous. And that translates then into this resistance to taking action, whatever action that is, building your course, or writing a post, or writing an email, or having that sales conversation. And then we are very, very skilled at finding reasonable explanations for why we're not doing this.
Yeah.
And this plays into the second chapter, actually, where parallels exist between trying to lose weight and trying to run a business. And that's all or nothing thinking, or perfectionism. We keep thinking, I can't write this email to my list if it's not perfect. I cannot send out anything. I can't write this post if it's not perfect. In weight loss, it's like you plan your day, you have a healthy breakfast, you go for a walk, and then in the afternoon, a colleague brings, I don't know, a huge cake to the office, and you have a slice of cake. And then you think, yes, now my whole day is ruined. I tried to do everything right, but I made a mistake. Now everything is ruined, so I might as well have 2 slices of cake. Yeah. So it's, you want it to be perfect, or want to be
Yeah,
like
or you fail.
terrible.
Yeah. It's like the sense of failure, isn't it? From just having half a piece of cake or whatever it is, isn't it? And then suddenly thinking, oh my goodness, well, as you say, I may as well have two now because I failed miserably.
And I like, there's this analogy that I use with my clients, where like when you have a flat tire on your car, you're not going to blow out the other three because your car can't drive anyway.
Yeah.
When you have just one slice of cake, you think, oh, the whole day I'm just going to eat as
we
much
beat,
as I can, because it's
problem is when you're trying to lose weight, when you have that slice of cake and you beat yourself up about it, isn't it? And you probably beat yourself up about it more than maybe sending that email.
Yes, I think there's a lot of and this is something I work a lot on, because of this brain of ours. Our brain sees that piece of cake, it's going to be ravenous, it wants it.
Yeah.
And when we give in, because maybe we're tired, or maybe we're just enjoying the company with our colleagues, maybe it's a positive feeling, then we give in. Our typical reaction is always to say, oh, it's me, I have no willpower, I have no self-discipline, and then give it up altogether.
And that's a belief then, isn't it? That's a belief that they're holding that's not serving them. But actually, tomorrow is another day.
The thing is, and this is something I coach with a lot of conviction, you can have a clean slate at any point in the day. You can 11 at night. You can say, clean slate now. You don't have to dig yourself deeper and deeper into that hole just because you're miserable and you want to make yourself more miserable. You can always clean the slate, say, okay, now it's 11 at night, I'm going to have a glass of water, I'm going to go to bed, and I'm starting again anew. I can always go back to doing the right thing. And in running a business, it's the same, because sometimes, you write a social media post that's not exactly a home run. And then all you want to do is crawl under your covers and say, I'm never going to put out anything again. When you just keep at it. That's it. And it takes a lot of resilience for that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, business is down to consistency, resilience, and determination, the motivation behind what you're doing.
I think another big one is actually patience. I think patience is actually patience is a competitive advantage. If you are patient enough to keep doing the stuff that everybody else is not patient enough to do, then you will probably prevail in the end. Which connects to the third chapter that I wanted to mention, where weight loss and running a business are similar, which is shiny new object syndrome. I'm sure you know that one. When there's always a new diet that comes out, and that one is going to clinch it, and it's so powerful. All you have to do is not eat, carbs after 6 p.m. or do keto or whatever it is, and then you're going to have results. Could also be just drink apple cider vinegar and the kilos are just going to tumble. And of course, in business, it's the same. It's you have to do email, or you have to be on Insta, or you have to do, now it's Clubhouse, but there's nothing wrong with trying new things. But if you haven't really gone the distance on the one that you're trying, if you're not patient enough to be consistent on the one that you are trying right now, then you will always, stop halfway. And that's the same in weight loss. Just because it doesn't work quickly or in a linear fashion, because everybody expects linear weight loss. They have these calculations where they say 3,500 calories is a pound of fat, and so you should be losing this and that. The body doesn't work like that. And you just have to go the distance and be patient. And I think that's a very, very important part of both business and weight loss.
So what about, we're going to talk about weight loss rather than business here. Well, actually, no, because you need to do it as well. Exercise, for example, and keeping your body moving in business anyway is also a good thing in your in your daily life anyway. But if there's also a thing, I mean, there's also there's people that are going to say that you need to obviously reduce your calories and burn more calories or whatever it is, and exercise is going to that's going to work if you do a lot of exercise and things like that. What's your view on hitting the gym 7 days a week, for example?
Yes, I think that we have to move a lot more than we think.
Yeah.
Our bodies were built to move all the time, the time, but we have a bit of a skewed understanding of what moving means, because what we have to do is move all day long, so it can't be formal exercise sessions.
Yeah.
And I see that all the time, especially with ladies over 40 who say, I can't lose weight anymore. It must be the hormones. I exercise every day. So they go to the gym maybe for an hour, or they go running. Even if they go running for an hour every day and they are set on their bum for the rest of the day, that is a sedentary life. So the most important part is to keep moving in your everyday life. And I know it's not easy when you're sitting in front of a computer, but you have to sort of get up regularly.
Yeah.
And there's one other thing that I believe in very strongly, which is actually my secret mission. I think that especially women need to do strength training. It is so important for all aspects of health. Metabolic health, mental health. It makes you feel so good and confident. And the most important part is that with strength training, you stay fit and agile enough to keep moving for the rest of the day and for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's it's like a conservative measure, actually, to strength train. But you have the same shiny new object thing that everybody talks about. HIIT, you have to do high intensity interval training, because in 10 minutes you can burn as many calories as. But if you do that for 10 minutes and you're sitting for the rest of the day, your body will not like it, because it was built to move all the time.
So those HIIT programs are not strictly, or you can't guarantee that those HIIT programs are gonna work if you're spending the rest of the day sitting down.
It's not. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. If you go to the gym every day for an hour, if you do a Pilates class, or if you do a HIIT, that's fine. That's wonderful. You just have to know it's only a very small part of the equation. And there's one more thing. When you've been inactive for quite some time and you start with HIIT, you're going to be discouraged. And you're going to be discouraged big time. And there's a risk of you never returning to exercise again, because it was so horrible. Because that's the idea. HIIT is only HIIT when it gets really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. And that's not for a beginner. And it's even something, if you will never do this in your entire life, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It can be useful for people who are seasoned exercisers and who want to add something to their movement mix. But it's not indispensable, and it's especially not for beginners, that's for sure.
I mean, I had a hysterectomy almost 2 years ago now, and I noticed I lost a lot of my strength. I mean, I was very weak, obviously, when you come out. I mean, obviously it's a major operation, so they're opening you up and everything. But I did notice my upper body. I used to be able to do press ups, but I can only do it on a counter now, or against the wall. But I can't do a full press up anymore, put it this way. But I did lose quite a lot of my upper body strength from doing that. It took me quite a long time, actually, I don't think I'm back to any kind of fitness. Well, maybe maybe now, but took a long time to recover from that. So yeah, so
upper body strength is a big thing for ladies, and I specialize a lot on that. You know, the progressive exercises you can do to be able to do a press up. Not only because it's cool to do a press up, of course it's cool, but it's actually a full body exercise. If you can do press ups, you can work out, you know, like 5 minutes anywhere, and have like a full body, because it works, yes, the upper body muscles, the shoulders, the arms, but the entire core has to be very strong too.
So I can plank, but not the press ups. Different matter.
It's also it's a tough one for ladies, because we carry much less muscle mass in our upper body than men. You know, proportionally, we have strong legs, but our upper body is a bit less naturally strong than men's, and we don't train it. I mean, in a normal girl's and woman's life, you never get really asked to do. I mean, it's okay for you to carry your children around. Nobody will say anything. But if you start building muscle or doing push-ups and stuff, then people will say, "Oh, are you not going to become too muscular?" And before you know it, I mean, I have an elderly friend. She bought herself a camera, like not a real pro camera, but a very expensive camera to take photos. And she realized after a while that she couldn't really hold it and carry it. It made her feel it was too stressful for her, too difficult, too heavy. She had lost
the shoulders,
all her upper body strength. So it's something you really want to keep, just for activities of daily living and for enjoying life. You know, that's why I'm so much in favor of strength training, to be really able to enjoy your life as long as possible.
Because I mean, I did a program, and a yoga program, and it was quite a strenuous one. It was I can't remember what it was called, but it was quite fast paced, and it was really good because, you know, it was quite strenuous as yoga goes. You know, it's quite a powerful kind of yoga, but I actually got I got tennis elbow basically from doing it.
Oh dear.
I haven't, so I've been like, oh no. I enjoy yoga, so I can't do that style of yoga anymore, because it just, I don't want to get tennis elbow, because I could, obviously, when you're doing the down dog and everything else and planking, I could feel my arm just going, you know, shaking like that. So yeah, I have a tendency now to get tennis elbow. So I do worry about that when I'm doing, you know, upper body stuff.
That's extremely annoying. Most people who take up running, I think they will get injured within 2 years or something. 85% will injure themselves. I think that's one argument really to work with a professional, have someone help you ease into it, so you can be sure that you build the basic foundation, the basic strength to be able to do the exercises without hurting yourself, because that is so frustrating when you just become active again and then you get stopped cold.
I started the yoga because after my surgery, I've always been quite flexible, so I have been I can touch my toes. I've always been able to touch my toes and stuff like that. But after my operation, I was probably just below the knees. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this is the first time in my entire life that I have not been able to touch my toes. So that's why I started the yoga again, because I thought, well, that's it. I've got to do yoga, start getting some flexibility in my body again. But I can't run because I am flat-footed, so I get really bad shin splints.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, so when I run on the pavement, I'm all right on a machine because it's more, it's got more bounce on the running machine, but I can't run on the pavements. The minute I do, I can feel the pain all the way up my, all the way up my legs. It's not
Yeah,
good.
and running. Just imagine what running is, because you have the ground reaction forces. So it's, the impact is many times your body weight, and you're pouncing the floor with your body weight on one limb, and it's repetitive. Just if I know walking, running are natural movements, but when you haven't done that for a long time, and then you think, oh, I'm going to start running, I'm going to get fit, and you expose your body to that. Just imagine I were to ask you to jump on your right leg 500 times, and then on your left leg 500 times, and you would realize what a strain that is. And I think most people, I mean, I'm not talking about people who have been active and athletic all their lives, but people who want to get back into moving. Most people are best off with walking as much as you can, because that ties into the move as much as possible too. It will, keep your body healthy and happy.
So if people are working at their desks all day, what's your recommendation, for example, to get up and move?
If they can do that, I would recommend every half hour. And if it's just, a walk to the water dispenser or something, or get your limbs moving, and also shift in your seat. Because I don't know who was it, somebody had this great saying, your best posture is your next posture, meaning change it as much as you can. You might sit as straight and as beautifully as you like, but if you keep, stay in that position for too long, then your body will not like it. As I said, it's made to move, so you can, even, slouch a little bit, change it around, but keep it changing, because otherwise you'll become so stiff and rigid, and you'll feel stiff.
Well, I was going to say, the older you get, over 40 as well, if you don't move, I find if I don't move, I do start stiffening up.
Absolutely.
So I do think there is that. It's quite important to keep moving through the day. I mean, I wake up and I have 2 glasses of water straight away, and then a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something like that. So I am on the loo anyway, every hour almost. For the first 3 or 4 hours.
That keeps you moving. Yeah, that's cool.
Keeps me moving. So I'm definitely up and down to the loo for a number of times throughout the day. So that have you got any other? Did you go through the third tip? What were the tips again? So
yes, the third one was shiny new object.
That's right. Yes.
What I would love to mention is that day after tomorrow, I'm hosting a free training on how you can actually deal with your hungry brain to make it work for weight loss. It's a workshop called Hack Your Brain for Weight Loss. And I'll put a link where you can sign up.
Yeah, put a link in the post, because
under the video. It's, just simple but very effective strategies to, not be overpowered by your reptile brain all the time when it comes to food. And it is possible. It takes patience, the competitive advantage. It's the same for weight loss and in business. But it does work. It works very well. I've a lot of experience with doing this with my clients, and I love to share this. So that's on Thursday.
Please do put it in the. You can go back into the group and put the link in the comments. What time is it on Thursday?
It's 4 p.m. in the UK.
4 p.m. UK. Okay.
But if when you sign up,
get the replay. Oh, perfect. Well, I might try and join. I might personally try and join the live. Is it a Zoom or?
It's a Zoom.
Facebook Live. Oh, is it? Okay.
I would love to have you. I think you will discover quite some interesting stuff. Not only about weight loss, but I think it transfers. I think it basically the way our brain acts, trying to protect us. It works for all aspects of life.
Yeah. Well, most definitely. I mean, when I talk about in my Money Alchemy Academy, when we talk about the negative beliefs that people have about money, and I get them all to have a look at all the conversations they remember about money and things like that. So actually with weight loss, you could look back into your childhood as well and think about the patterns. What did you observe about weight? You know, particularly if you had, maybe your mum was always dieting, or you know, all
that's a very popular one. Yes.
Yeah, all of those kind of things. So it's quite, you know, there are definitely some similarities, because it all comes back down to your beliefs as well at the end of the day. And your beliefs
Absolutely.
about whether or not you deserve to be your perfect weight.
Yes, that's it.
So yeah, so, and actually one of my clients did say that when we did the exercise about our beliefs, you know, childhood memories, she's like, oh, we can actually do this with weight loss, well, in fact, for anything.
Yes. And of course with food, because it's such a basic survival thing, it can be extremely powerful. It's also a way so many people, so many moms and grandmothers express their love. So that there's a lot of emotional baggage attached to food.
There
and
is,
if you dig into those beliefs, you can probably have a liberating experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you can get rid of some of those negative beliefs, then definitely. Because I have a cousin who, most of her life, for example, she's been overweight, and her daughter is skinny as hell like this, because she did not want to have problems when she got older with her weight, and she is skinny as a rake, probably too skinny. So you know, there's that effect as well with weight, isn't there? It's can be quite extreme.
Yes, I mean, what we learn in our homes is not only things that we are told expressively, because you know it can be also just patterns or our reaction to stuff, like you say, that we don't want to repeat, and we could shoot a bit too far in the opposite direction.
Oh, brilliant. Well, thanks very much for coming on, Kim. It's been amazing to have you. And so for everybody else, be sure to, if you want to join Kim's webinar, her webinar, it's on Thursday the 26th at 4 p.m. UK. So yeah, so we're going to put the link in the post after we've come live. So thanks for joining us. So again, if you're watching on the replay, put on #replay. I'll be back next week on Tuesday. I think it's the 31st of August, the last day of August. And then the kids are back to school. In the UK, the kids will be back to school the week after. But we also have bank holiday on Monday. So the last bank holiday of the year till Christmas, unfortunately. I know. The last long weekend. So yeah.
I hope the sun will be shining for you.
Oh my goodness. I think we all do. My son is going to a festival on Thursday, music festival. So him and his friends, they've all been weather watching, because we've had, I know obviously you're in Madrid, but here in the UK, and I saw on the news, really hot. I lived in Spain, so I know. But I heard on the weather report or on the news the other day that Europe had one of the hottest summers that it's ever had. I was looking, going, oh my goodness, what about the UK? We've had like...
Well, you left us.
The opposite.
You left Europe, so you don't get to share.
We don't get to share the sunshine. But we've had so much rain this August. It's almost been 3 weeks of rain. So hopefully we'll have a dry weekend and a nice weather for the bank holiday as well. So thanks again. We were digressing. So thanks again. I'll be back next Tuesday, the 31st of August at 5 p.m. And I have another guest next week. My guest coming on next week is Claire Harris. And we are going to be talking about finding your life purpose. So
that's cool.
So that is going to be really interesting class as well. So be sure to join us next week. So thanks very much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.